Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. To the 79th webinar. I would like to start by wishing you and your families good health and safety in these times. As we start meeting, the latest awakening, humanity is facing one of the darkest periods in living memory. COVID-19 has caused tragic loss of life, and missionaries have turned our world upside down, affecting billions of people and stopping economies in their tracks. This is a crisis like no other. The scars left behind, the scars left by the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic have hardly healed, and India is already facing a fourth round of infections. So that despite the extraordinary can charge forward. AABN has been organizing webinars successfully for the past 18 months to, to bring practical ideas for new growth, and the companies in the network immediately set to work developing new plans. Looking ahead, AABN will develop a strategic plan focus on business networking, which is buzz. With over 60% of its members being entrepreneurs, it hopes to set us up by fostering a dynamic and mutually beneficial system. Strengthening connectivity, it can help evolve a credible, independent, and collaborative for the entrepreneurial ecosystem. To take networking beyond the frontiers of nostalgia, draw from its diverse resources, and nurture a global networking community. Entrepreneurial ecosystem can make all its members stronger and more resilient. Is Incorporate US here at AABN. In this webinar, Bharani Kumar is giving us an introduction to industrial analytics, describing who needs it, why you need it, and how to get it. We begin today's webinar with the fact data are the current trend manufacturing industries today. This session will give an introduction to big data and industrial analytics. It will answer what, why, and how of industrial analytics. Also take you through various business applications of industrial analytics. This webinar session will also make you aware of the career opportunities and future in industrial analytics. It is an opportunity to career by being part of one of the fastest growing industry, data and industrial analytics. Bharani Kumar moves on to some key elements of data reporting. The data needs to be customizable. It should drive quality and increase efficiencies while easing any containment issues that occur. Your data collection services should have a proactive altering feature that conditional alerts directed to people who can't act quickly. To get started on the industrial analytics, Mr. D. Bharani Kumar will help our entrepreneurs to identify which aspect we must address to harness the full potential of a transition. At in today, there can be no one more fitting than Mr. Bharani on data is key, decoding industrial analytics. Mr. Bharani Kumar is an alumnus of AABN with over 6+ years of industry experience and 8+ years of extensive experience in training. He has completed various technical and management international certificates, DMP, PMI, ACT, PMI, RP, CSPO, CSD, DSDM, at turn, Lean Six Sigma. He's with abilities in business analytics, quality management, project management, etc., and possesses excellent communication skills and a capability to explain tough concepts in a very lucid way. He has successfully delivered 60+ big data analytics and 10,000+ professionals across the globe. He has worked in many multinational companies like HSBC, ITC, Infosys, and with as chief scientist in 4 companies: Athena Technologies, MedliMed, Bronto. He is in School of Business and Watson Business School. From his resume, you sure did understand that this achiever would stop nothing in the sky. Yes, for the baby spreads through his talks as well. So I'm not going to make you wait any long, let Bharani regale you with his assured expectation and fresh ideas. Before I wind up, I would like to thank Mr. Nitin Mishra from the 1997 batch for having connected AABN to Mr. Bharani Kumar. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Bharani Kumar.
Thank you, Mr. Gopi. Thank you so much for that quick introduction of mine. And thank you, AABN, for giving me this opportunity to present myself before you. Okay, so we'll get started. While I enable my video on this machine, I'll be presenting the slides on another machine. Yeah, and there is a reason why I'm doing that. Just a moment. All right. So I think we can get started now. I was just getting hold of my scribbling pad to scribble a bit. Okay. So friends, welcome to the session once again. And we have something called as domain analytics, which is making big rounds in the world today. People with life sciences healthcare background, or say they have dentist background, or they have B pharmacy, bachelor in pharmacy or M pharmacy, if they have pharmaceutical background or biotechnology background or biomedical background, if they have experience in life sciences and healthcare, be it from education point of view or be it their experience point of view. Right? For then, life science healthcare analytics makes more sense, and they will have opportunities in this space when it comes to either doing projects or maybe going and looking out for job in that space. Someone with BCom or someone with BBA in finance or someone with MBA in finance, right? If they have that educational background, or if they have worked with certain banks or insurance companies or any of the financial services insurance companies, then financial analytics makes more sense for them. On similar lines, marketing analytics makes more sense for those folks who are in the space of digital marketing or who have done their masters in marketing or bachelors in marketing, etc. HR analytics, supply chain analytics, cybersecurity analytics, data science for internal auditors, and the list would go on and on. And we are extremely proud that 360 Digit MG, digital transformation, management and governance, that is how we name this, right? Digit MG. And we have come up with 56 plus domain analytics programs, training programs. And how did we accomplish this? Are we just going ahead and then pulling the use cases from internet? Or are we actually working on certain projects? To answer that, I need to talk about InnoDataTix, which is yet another consulting vertical which we have. So we have two verticals. One is into trainings, another is into advanced analytics consulting work. And InnoDataTix offers analytics, deep learning, Internet of Things, business reporting solutions in the space of multiple industries, be it life sciences healthcare, or be it financial services, be it automotive or manufacturing or telecom and technology, energy and resources, retail, aviation, you name it. We have our presence extremely deep. 280 plus projects is what we have accomplished together as an organization right since 2013. In 2013, when I actually quit my job to become an entrepreneur, this is exactly what we have been doing since then. Right? A lot of projects in this space. Social media analytics, and you name it, right? So I'll take one example at a time and probably talk about how analytics is implemented in each of these industries. And these are our real world projects. We would have done these projects for various customers. Right? State Bank of India is one of our clients. Hinduja Leyland Finance is one of our clients. Margadarshak, which is one of the non-banking financial corporations, is our client. RHB Bank in Malaysia, and there is an educational bank which is specialized in education loan in US. They are our clients. And Russia, I mean, we should not be speaking much about Russia at this point of time, maybe. But then we have a client from Russia called as MBA Finance. They are specialized in, recovering the loan, recovering the assets which are not returned to the bank, right? So we have been working with all of these major clients across the globe. And there is a bank called as ABC Bank, which is from Vietnam. We are also doing projects for them in space of billing, chatbot, etc. And there is one project which we have done. I'll briefly speak about that. And then because of that, I featured in this magazine. But then before I get there, if someone applies for a loan, okay, say there is a person who has applied for a loan, person A. This person's information such as age, gender, education qualification, what is the loan amount, what is the loan interest amount, loan category, all these details would get captured in a database, and then that goes through a machine learning algorithm. And this machine learning algorithm would then predict on whether this person will default on the loan or not. Default means would not repay or not default. If the prediction says that there is 90% probability or 90% chance that this person A would default on the loan, then what would any bank do? Any logical thinking bank? Would they approve the loan or would they reject the loan? Someone would take the bank loan and they will not repay the loan. They'll just abscond. That's the meaning of default. If there is 90% chance that someone is going to default, then what any logical thinking bank would do? They will reject the loan. And they will say that, wow, we have met our objective of minimizing the defaulters, of minimizing the loan defaulters. This is wonderful in terms of meeting your business objectives. Right? Maybe you have significant proportion of customers who are defaulting on the loan. So you build your machine learning algorithm to meet your objective. And that is exactly what has happened. 90% probability that someone will default, hence you have rejected, you met your objective, kudos to you. However, if there is a bank, they lend loan. And against this loan that they are lending, they get the interest amount. This interest amount is what will help them generate some revenue. The banks generate revenue based on the interest rate, and that is how they become profitable. If you're in the first place rejecting the loan, then you're not even lending the loan. You would obviously not get the interest rate. So you would obviously not get your revenue from there on profits. How are you going to survive as a bank? You need to run your operations. Right? Hence, this kind of building models is not going to help anyone. So what should you do? You need to bring in the business acumen. You need to understand the business constraints. And then you need to build the model. So here, the constraint would be, while you're trying to minimize the loan defaulters, maximize the profits at the same time. Both of these have to be acted upon in tandem. So how would you do that? How do you achieve that? Now it is an interesting business problem to solve. Only based on your objective, if you're trying to attack the problem and solve it, it will be only half baked. You would not meet the entire objectives. Hence, we have come up with a technique called as survival analytics. And survival analytics, sorry, and survival analytics is a term which has emerged from life sciences healthcare. How long would a patient survive? Instance. Here, how long would a customer continue repaying the loan? How many installments will a customer pay before defaulting? If this model says that, do you know what? There is 90% chance that this customer A would default on the loan. However, this customer A would default after 28 EMIs, every month installments. Then you would not reject now. You would still approve the loan, but you would probably reduce the loan tenure to 24 months. Approve the loan for 24 months only, because you know that this guy would default on the loan, but after 28 months of EMIs, of installments. Right? This is how you need to attack both the objectives and constraints. Both of these aspects should be addressed. And this has appeared on CIO review. We have been ranked as the 20 most promising data analytics solution providers in 2018. This is from US, and that's me basically. Anyways, you're seeing. Okay, another thing is, we have done a project in the space of automotive. And I'm talking about a client, a customer, which is a, or who is a gold standard in the space of they produce a lot of trucks. Okay. And this very project that we have done has won us the first place in Project Management Institute National Conference in 2017. Now we are in 2022. So a lot of good things we have already accomplished. That's the point I'm trying to drive. But then there were 4 different tracks in Project Management Institute National Conference. Across the 4 tracks, one team won the first place. Across all the 4 tracks, 4 teams. Among these 4 teams, we won again the first place. So overall, we won the first place. So that is how prestigious this project is for us. Briefly, if you want me to show you that, you just need to type PMI survival analytics, and the first paper that you're going to find is our paper. That's me. This is there on Project Management Institute. You'll find the project management methodology that we have employed and the project aspect. So let me briefly talk about this project quickly. If a vehicle is transporting goods from point A to point B, say from Hyderabad to Chennai. In this route, if the vehicle breaks down, if the vehicle fails, a lot of people would be negatively impacted. Okay. And a lot of people, in the sense, driver, the receiver of the goods, sender of the goods, the people who are commuting on the road because a vehicle broke down. And if you keep seeing a specific brand, a specific make of a vehicle, truck, being broke down frequently on the roads, then you lose trust on that brand. Say you see Volvo, always Volvo buses or Volvo trucks you see at the side of the road broken, failed. You lose trust on that. Right? So it is very, very important to ensure that brand image is taken care of. And if the vehicle breaks down, what is the first thing we do? We call up the nearest service center. We say that, hey, my vehicle is under warranty. If it's under warranty, you'll say, come and fix it. My vehicle is under warranty. If your vehicle is under warranty, this original equipment manufacturer should send their staff, mechanics or workers, who will come and fix your vehicle If they cannot fix, they will take it to the nearest service center, they'll fix it and give you. Waste of time. And it's a warranty cost to you as an original equipment manufacturer. And then if your vehicle is under insurance, you would claim insurance. So these are the two companies who have jointly funded this project. And they asked us to build an analytics solution to solve this problem. What did we do? We have placed telematics controlling unit, or ECUs, electronics controlling unit, and we placed it on the vehicle front. We connected this device to OBD, onboard diagnostics. And that would then generate the data of critical components of the truck. And it would place the data on the cloud. And then back then in 2017, machine learning on cloud was not famous. It wasn't existent at that point of time. So what we have done is we have taken the data and we have done a lot of analytics. Number one, we predicted whether a vehicle will break down in a specific journey or not. Say a vehicle is moving from Hyderabad to Chennai, will it break down or not? Will it fail or not? This was a first. Second, if it is going to fail, after how many kilometers will it fail? After how many kilometers will it fail? If it says that this will fail after, say, 1,000 kilometers, then you can still transport the goods, take a risk and transport the goods, because Hyderabad to Chennai could be 650 kilometers. And your vehicle will break down after 1,000. So at least you can move there. But if the prediction says that in 200 kilometers your vehicle will break down, then you will not even proceed on that journey. Because 200 kilometers my vehicle is going to break down. Hyderabad to Chennai is 650 kilometers. So I would not even take a risk. Now, God forbid your vehicle breaks down. Then which component of your vehicle breaks down? If I were to predict this also, then the technicians from this original equipment manufacturer, technicians, when they come and try to fix the issue, they know exactly which component they need to look for, as opposed to again trying to diagnose what went wrong. That would save a lot of time. So in this way, we try to address the pain areas of all the different stakeholders. So second thing that we need to remember from this use cases, don't just look at the business problem from a single person point of view, from a single stakeholder point of view. No, we also need to look at the entire value chain and who are the various people who are negatively impacted because of the business problem, and try to implement a solution such that it addresses all of these various issues. Okay, next, aviation. So when it comes to aviation, Korean Airlines, Avianca Airlines, TrueJet in India, then Scoot, which is a Singapore-based aviation company. We do projects for all of these various industries or clients rather. And there is Qantas with whom we are in talks with, Australian aviation company. Very soon we might get started on that project. And this use case or project that we have done, I'm going to explain it by showing you a specific visualization. Let me share my screen on a different slide, on a different machine rather. And the reason is because, yep, the Tableau software, this is called as business intelligence software called as Tableau. I would install on my MacBook. Okay. So one is this. We have done a SANC dashboard, a SANC chart is what you call this as, wherein we looked at each and every route, Hyderabad to Tirupati, right? Hyderabad to Rajahmundry, then Hyderabad to Chennai. We looked at all of these and we looked at in the month of Jan and Feb, how much revenue did they get? How much money did they make, right? Because aviation companies as such are not profitable. It's one of the least preferred industry when it comes to making profits. So it's very important to analyze properly. And then we've also done this. And this line that you're seeing, each of the line is connecting two locations. Maybe Hyderabad to Nanded, or Hyderabad to Rajahmundry, or Hyderabad to maybe Chennai, right? So that line that you see is connecting two locations. By looking at this, we have done something called as network analytics. Okay, and that network analytics, I switch back to the other machine now, has helped the client called TrueJet start their operations from Hyderabad to Indore. Okay, and based on our suggestions, that's the project that or the analytics work that we have done is called as network analytics. Using network analytics, we figured out what is the shortest route, okay, which would maximize per nautical mile revenue. So your aviation companies per nautical mile, because when you're flying from, say, one location to another, it will be a straight line, right? There'll be tunnels like we have had that might be allocated to you, might be like this. It need not be the shortest route always. So given this, we need to ensure that we increase per nautical mile revenue. Okay, and given that we have done network analytics and we have suggested the client project to start a new route from Hyderabad to Indore. This is under something called as Udan scheme project, right? And they actually launched. They have a fleet size now of 6 flights, I believe. All are the ATR, the smaller aircrafts. This is one project that we have done in the space of aviation. I can go on and talk about more things, but in the interest of time, I'll just push ahead. Manufacturing. We have done a project for Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages Private Limited. And this is how the project was. I'll also show the slides. They have a manufacturing unit in Aminpur. Aminpur is in Hyderabad, basically. And they have something called as preform. Preform is a raw material. This raw material is sent to something called as a blower unit. In this blower unit, they blow air. If more air is blown, you get that 1.5 liter PET bottle. And if less air is blown, you get a 200 ml PET bottle. So you have blower units. After that blower unit, it moves on to some other unit called as chiller unit. This is maintained at a specific temperature. Syrup is the substance that they put in the Coke or Thumbs Up, etc., which should give you that taste. And here in blower sensor and blower unit, IoT sensor, Internet of Things sensor, to capture the air pressure was already there. Air pressure. In chiller unit, the temperature sensors were there because you need to maintain that at a specific temperature. Then you'll have something called as filler unit, in which you fill the liquid into the bottles. If this is your bottle, if you're filling until the brim, if you're filling the syrup until the brim, then it will be rejected because you need to fill only until here. Maybe some space should be there. And if you're going to fill it until here, still it should be rejected. So how do you measure that? Using something called as height sensor. There will be height sensors, which will capture the data, and then it will quickly push away the bottle if it's of lower height or if you fill it until the brim. Then you'll have packaging unit, where you package, you put the stickers and all that. Then you'll have pallets, then distributors, so on and so forth. What we have done is, we have put this Internet of Things sensor called as height sensor. And then we captured the data from all these sensors. From all these various sensors, we captured the data and we put it in a database. And after putting the data in the database, we built a machine learning algorithm on that, which would predict whether any of these machines will fail or not fail. If any of these machines are going to fail, we would quickly send an alert of the technician as an SMS, and this technician would go and proactively fix this issue even before something goes worse. Okay, and this is called as preventive maintenance. And this is the project that we have done. Okay, by placing IoT sensors on your critical components, you capture the data. And then you become proactive. Some machine fails and then you go and fix, is reactive. Even before a machine fails, I'll go and fix, is proactive. So data science, machine learning algorithms will help you proactively fix the issue. We've also done project in the space of retail, and we have done this project for one of the Chinese client. So we don't like China a lot nowadays, but still we have done a project for them. And this project is as follows. So we have a person called as Jessie. She enters a retail store. The moment she enters, she'll have a mobile app pertaining to this company. And that mobile app would get synced with something called as beacon, iBeacon, like some router, Wi-Fi router. And then it recognizes that this person is in the store. It scans her mobile app and it will look at various details such as what did she add into her shopping list. So even before you go to the shopping, you put the list of all the items, and then so that you don't forget, and it would be there. And based on your shopping list, it is going to guide you the shortest route in the store to go and pick your items. So it's going to give you the aisle locations of each and every product so that you do not miss out on anything. And very soon you complete your shopping. You put that into the smart cart and it will keep tracking how many products you have taken. And the information also goes to the backend team of the store saying that one item is removed from the rack so that they go and replace that item. So that's called as shelf replenishment. It happens faster. And then if Jessie picks up a cooking section, some spice, this smart cart will recommend what other products you might want to pick up so that you come up with an amazing recipe. You're picking up some cooking item, so you want to cook. If you want to cook, what if I also recommend a few other items? You'll be really happy, right? Some good recipe you can cook for your family. Then you go on the smart display based on your face recognition. It will recognize who are you, male or a female. If you're a female, probably it will recommend you some promotions on bags, handbags. I'm trying to sell more as a store, retail store. What do you want? More revenue, thereby more profits. So you want to sell more items. That is what we are doing here. And then she gets coupons just to force her purchase. If she's given 20% special discount to purchase a bag, she'll be more happy. And the sensors on the cart, on this smart cart, there'll be sensors. It will capture the products and the cost. And then Jessie can just leave the store because the smart payment option on the tablet actually deducts the money from her account. and Jesse leads us through. This is a project which we have done way back in 2015 for a Chinese client. 7 years back, we have implemented this. All these are not on the high level. I'm not just giving you theory. Okay. These are things which have been practically implemented by our own team. And this is Life Sciences Healthcare Analytics project. Data science is available in all the industries, all the sectors, and all the domains. I'm giving you a few of the examples. Okay. And overall, if you want to see how many projects we have worked on, I would probably reach out to me. I can share the details. 280 plus projects we have accomplished in the last decade or so. Okay, all of these in the space of advanced analytics. So we are having rich practical real world experience. And this project is a project which we have done for a Malaysian client. I've just blocked the name of the client just to safeguard, because they told until we go live, please do not disclose to anyone. That's me, by the way, when I visited their experience center. And I took the photos also from their experience center. Okay, so what happens here is, if you want to go to a hospital, you book an appointment on your mobile app. They also ask you for your vehicle details, your car number, so that when you reach the hospital, the barricade automatically opens based on IoT's visual analytics. So it will look at your number plate, it will look at the mobile app. If those two are the same, it will map, recognize, and then it will open the barricade. So you enter the hospital. Within the basement, Google Maps, etc., doesn't work, right? So geo-fencing works. Through geo-fencing, it will direct you to the nearest parking lot near a elevator. So suppose there is a parking lot available here, it will say go like this, park it here. And here there are height sensors. Based on height sensor, it will recognize whether a vehicle is there or not. Okay, if your vehicle is there, this height sensor will be less. So it knows that there's a vehicle, so it says the parking lot is full. Then you enter this particular hospital, and this kind of a machine would be here also. I mean, I could not cover that. Right? So this machine, you stand in front of that using your facial recognition. It recognizes that you have an appointment, and then it will redirect you to do it yourself, places. Stand on this and it will track the height. It will track your weight. Sit on this and there are certain things such as temperature, blood pressure. You do it automatically. And all this information goes to the doctor. So the moment you as a patient go to the physician will have a Bluetooth. And physician has all the details before you visit. Patient, doctor. So whatever conversation happens between a patient and a doctor is recorded digitally, and it sits in the database, so that each time you visit, your entire data is electronically recorded, not on a paper. If we record on the paper, we know not many people have the discipline to maintain the historical health conditions. If it is digitally stored, then there is no need for you to maintain it separately. And on this, predictions can be done on what kind of diseases you might get. Would you become a diabetic? Would you have some heart issues? So those kind of predictions can happen. After this is done, you just walk away here. You stand in front of this, and using the video analytics, it will capture your face, and then it will give you the bill. You pay the bill using cash or card or using all the various options are available. Then you move to the next counter where medicines are automatically dispensed using the robot. You just pick your medicines, walk away. This is smart hospital concept, and this would be launched by Malaysian Health Ministry. Okay, and we are extremely proud to have been associated with such great initiatives. Okay, from our analytics standpoint. Education, next very important thing. We have something called as AI tutor. AI tutor, we thought a lot and we have launched this AI tutor. What it does is, and this is live, our students are already using it. Okay. So what it does is, suppose you have a recorded video, okay, and suppose you're watching it through user consent, means you have to say that, okay, my video can be recorded. Through your consent, the video is recorded, and we are not going to store any of the videos because we are going to convert this into something called as bit format, which only computer understands, 1001 format. So who is there in the video? No one knows. Even we don't know. But then it will capture the details on behavior of the person who is watching that video. Is a specific student drowsy? Is a specific person disengaged? Is a student over phone while watching the video? All this is captured, and information such as from 5th minute to 7th minute, a student was drowsy. From 7th minute to 8th minute, student was not even in front of the system. 9th minute to 11th minute, student was confused. This information is given. And when people click on view on that video, if it's for 2 hours, it goes exactly to 5th minute. And you can again watch the video. This is to ensure that your learning is reinforced. Not just watching the video, but you have to understand, right? So that's what it does. It will give you the list of topics which were spoken, discussed while you were drowsy. Maybe you didn't understand those because the lecturer or professor wasn't teaching it well. So we give you a few URLs. You can click on that, go, read those and understand better. This is a kind of behavioral analytics that we have, right? For students, their learning will be amplified. For professors or lecturers, they get reports like this, such as out of total 200 students who watched your video, 100 students were drowsy while these topics were discussed. So for a professor or lecturer or tutor, they can enhance their teaching skills. They can bring in some interesting examples to ensure that the audience are continuously engaged with the lectures. Then we have come up with this AI-driven chatbot where you ask a question, it responds. You need not go to Google and search your doubts. Next, how many times did you fast forward or back, scroll backward? Because that topic maybe you didn't understand, hence you were going back, reading it again and again. Then we have come up with autism analysis. There are a lot of kids with a lot of learning disabilities. Certain kids, they sit on front of their computers while they attend the classes, they just keep flapping hands. That's a sign of autism, right? They need to have some kind of behavioral therapy. Toe walking, using CCTV, if you observe that the kid is just toe walking on the toes, occupational therapy is needed. That could be a sign of autism. At least these kind of reports, if we give to the school management and to the parent, they can intervene early and they can fix the issue early. Sign language is people who do sign language, right? And deaf and dumb folks, differently abled people. For them also, we have come up with a system where from the video, automatically the video is rendered and sign language happens. And when they have a question, they can ask their question in sign language. and it will get rendered and they'll get a response back using sign language. And all these are the various people who will be positively impacted. So this is all about the various projects that we do for various customers across the globe. What we thought is, can we bring in all these use cases, real world use cases that we have worked upon into the training curriculum so that the next generation of students are taught the real world aspects, so that their job placement opportunities increase, so that they can become next line of leaders in driving the nation. Can we do that? Can we impact in a positive way? Yes. And that has given rise to our training company called as 360 Digit MG. Until then, it was InnoDataTix, Innovation Data Analytics. We kept doing projects after projects. But would we work on those projects, keep that knowledge to ourselves, or should we disseminate the information for the better benefit of wider society? Yes, we can. And that is exactly why we launched 360 Digit MG. And we incorporated all these beautiful use cases into the training curriculum so that students learn the practical stuff. Okay. And we also thought, can we help entrepreneurs become entrepreneurs who might want to venture into the education space? So let me now, at this point of time, talk about what we do and what kind of entrepreneurial opportunities we provide. So we have all these things: digital transformation skills, industry revolution 4.0 use cases, structured project methodology, so on and so forth. And we have been into this market for the last, I would say approximately a decade. And since then, we have been training a lot of people as well, alongside doing projects. And we have approximately 30 franchisee centers across the world. Okay, and that's me basically. We have partnered with State University of New York, which is the largest university in US. And we are providing a lot of postgraduate diploma programs to the students. And education industry as such is amazing, right? And we have Dr. Ramaswamy, who is a legal advisor, ex-Supreme Court judge, and now part of, core committee of Prime Minister. There are a lot of other advisory panels. These are all the various accreditations that we have. We have been ranked as the 14th best training institute in India. Then we have ranked as the top industry player in education space. Right? We have been ranked as a #1 data science training institute in Bengaluru, right? Even in Hyderabad. We have been ranked as the fastest growing technology firm by Deloitte. Right? These are the various accreditations we have. We have partnered with Panasonic, and we are an exclusive EdTech partner. We partnered with IBM in providing the joint collaborative programs and certificates. State University of New York. We have been delivering trainings for clients across the globe. UK National Health Service is one of the iconic thing that we have. These are the various programs that we offer. And these programs that you're seeing on the screen are the futuristic programs, which will be there for the next 10 years. Data science or Internet of Things or artificial intelligence, machine learning on cloud computing, machine learning ops, full stack data science, you name it, we have it. Okay. And alongside that, these are the in-demand programs, very, very hot programs. Okay. In addition to that, these are the various postgraduate diploma programs which we are offering in collaboration with State University of New York. Okay. And then these are the various industry domain analytics trainings that we are offering. These are the various events that, and a lot of students who got trained through us have got salaries in excess of 14 lakhs per annum. These are all fresh graduates 0 years experience, just passed out, got trained for 6 months. There you go, 14 lakhs per annum salary. And their profiles, their LinkedIn profiles, everything is placed on our website. These are the various companies for whom we do corporate trainings, we do projects, and we also place our students who get trained through us. These are the various accreditations. We are a global training partner with Microsoft, with NASCOM we partnered, TCS Ion, IBM, UTM is University Technology Malaysia, and bunch of things are there. We are globally headquartered in India, in Hyderabad. We also have our office in Malaysia, which is going to address the ASEAN market needs, Association of Southeast Nations. Then we are globally headquartered in USA. To be precise, the exact address is given there. We have our own offices in Bengaluru and Chennai. And then these are the various learning centers. We have placed only a few of the learning centers here. And this is our contact email ID and phone number. If you want to reach out for any help, any assistance, any support, please feel free to reach out. For InnoDataTix also, you can reach out on this and the details will be redirected to us. All right. And final slide, okay, before I take your questions. SkillNext is a program that we have launched in collaboration with State University New York and National Education Foundation in this initiative, which is called as Make India Great. We want to skill the youth. This is called as Youth Skill Development Program. For 2022, we have an aim to train 1 lakh students for free. This is our way of giving it back to the society. If we find any students doing a good job, then we will also offer them internship opportunities. That would serve as experience. That would also give them some money as students, right? So this is SkillNext program. Having said this, I also would like to thank you all and then quickly share my LinkedIn profile with you all. I have close to 30,000 people who are already connected with me on LinkedIn. I am an alumnus of Indian School of Business and IIT Hyderabad. I've done my master's from both of these places. And as Mr. Gopi has already told, I work with all these companies and I have 16 plus years of experience. And I work as a chief data scientist on multiple companies. So here's my profile, just in case anyone wants to connect with me. Feel free, and you can also ask me questions here on LinkedIn. Thank you all so much, and over to you, Mr. Gopi.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Bharani Kumar. Amazing session. You had it all going.
Thank you so much.
You're an absolute expert in areas of industrial analytics and how to attract more clients. You're one of the go-to for all things around industrial analytics.
Thank you so much.
We are very happy to have you here today, and we had an excellent session. Now we'll keep the floor open for questions.
Yep.
Participants, you can please unmute and ask your questions, please.
I'd like to be the first. Mr. Bharani Kumar, excellent presentation.
Thank you, Mr.
And this is the future. I'm able to see business analytics. But at the same time, person like me who are in manufacturing, who use 8th standard, 5th standard pass outs. We are scared that you really empower 1 lakh people every year. And then how am I going to get people? Anyway, India is a big country, and in our own way we empower. My question is, do you have a business analytics for business failures? You see, the thing is, okay, forget black swan events like COVID or something like that. But people don't hit rocks and fall. They actually trip on small stones. So do you have kind of analytics? I mean, these are the parameters. This is where you will go wrong. Maybe due to cash flow, maybe due to customer acquisition. Have you done some kind of not for big guys, not for the billion-dollar company, but uh, not for the mom and pop shops, but mid-sized 10, 50 crore turnover company who can afford this kind of analytics. Have you got anything going?
Yeah, absolutely, Mr. Vishwanath. So let me try to pull out something to show that, and then that would actually make the understanding even better. So what we have done is a bunch of projects in the space of optimization. So this optimization would help in a lot of ways. For example, let me pick up this manufacturing use case and explain. Yep. So here. For example, we have a lot of projects. Someone has, I don't know why there is this echo coming up. Maybe, all right. So this is one of the projects that we've done for a client wherein this specific client was into manufacturing pumps. And this is for one of those small, medium enterprises in one of the manufacturing hubs in Hyderabad. And they wanted us, that they were saying that which of these should I produce so that I get maximum output. And then we have done this analytics and we have figured out that this is exact number that they need to produce. Right? They need to produce 171 units of a specific pump type, right? Like Aquas pump, for example. I mean, we change the names for the training purpose, and then we help them answer a lot of questions so that they do not go wrong with respect to their areas where they might go wrong. Right? So if you look at this, if possible, should the company increase the number of pumps available? Why or why not? Right? If possible, should the company acquire more labor hours? Why or why not? Because if they acquire more labor hours without analyzing, they might get into losses. If they just increase the number of pumps available, they might be investing more money in getting that equipment, but they might not be profitable. Right? Should the company get more tubing? And should they increase the labor required, or should they actually reduce the labor required from 9 to 8 hours, from 8 to 7 hours, 7 to 6? What will happen if they keep doing these kind of things? This is called as what if analysis. And what if analysis helps address a lot of issues which might otherwise arise, right? Which might otherwise take you into the zone of failure. So this is how we do. After we implement the analytic solution, we also give our stakeholders and the management something called as what if analysis, sensitivity analysis. Using that, they can look at what is the threshold post this actually that project is going to fail. If I reduce the number of labor required from 6 hours to 5 hours, would you get into losses? 5 to 4, would you get into loss? Or 4 to 3? So you exactly will come to know that, okay, this is my threshold. I should not cross this. If I cross this, then I might get into losses, right? So this is what we usually do. In addition to doing our prediction models, we give the customer something called as, prescriptive analytics. This is called as prescriptive analytics, which will help client analyze various what if scenarios and come up with the benchmarks and ensure that they do not, go beyond that, because going beyond that would mean getting into losses. I hope I answered your question, Mr. Vishwanath.
Yeah. Mr. Bharani, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, Mr. Sanjay, please go ahead.
Yeah. So first of all, let me congratulate you for giving an excellent session on data analytics with various use cases and how you pioneered from a company to training, for the sake, for the benefit of others as well. So for your company. Is that if we don't knowledge in terms of not available or processes not understood, where exactly are the challenges of the data analytics, which is industry agnostic? Uh, but if you feel that this is industry specific, if you do.
Okay. So for this, I need to just open one of the things which we use for our reference purpose, and to quote a few of the forums which we refer to. And I also teach at Indian business, right? I do a lot of research as well. So I have access to such forums, which I frequently make use of. And yet I think I could be able to highlight a few of those in a minute. Okay, while I these, yep, I got it. All right. Yeah, that's a very good question. I believe that data on its own will not be able to do justice unless domain knowledge is incorporated. So if you are doing project for, say, Coca-Cola, we would expect a lot of business stakeholders, business leaders, heads of various departments to be participating in this particular journey of implementing the analytics solution. So data, sometimes data might be there, sometimes it might not be there. If it is there, we go capture the data. We just take the data. It is secondary data. If we don't have the data, then we go ahead with simulation, design of experiments, right? Surveys, web scraping, IoT sensors. So we make various forums to get access to that data if we don't have data. But is this costly and time consuming? Yes, certainly. It is time consuming, it is costly as well. But without domain knowledge, no matter how much data and what data we have, it doesn't make any sense. For example, we have worked along with an oncologist called as Jovita Martin. She's from Chennai, on triple negative breast cancer. Now, we are all folks who deal with data, we have access to technology, etc. But if someone says, go build a model to predict triple negative breast cancer, we might say, no, we don't have sufficient knowledge. So we have done is, we have tried to accrue the domain knowledge from the doctor who is an oncologist. We understood a lot of aspects about this. We have done a lot of research. We gained that domain knowledge. And alongside while we were working on the project, we had her as a domain expert. So one person from business should be part of the project. That's a prerequisite. And technology, obviously. So knowledge about only data won't help. You need knowledge about data and domain. Domain knowledge, either you accrue it, you learn, but then it's very difficult to acquire years of domain knowledge. So we onboard one of the members from that project, from that client, as a business expert. And of course, we have whether the available data is sufficient or not, or do we need more data? For that, we do a lot of research, such as I have, Business Monitor International. Information Wharton Research Data Services. I mean, the reason why I'm naming all these things is because for India, it is India Premium Database, CEIC, if you want to have access to that. All these are paid sources from which you can get two things. One is you can get information on similar kind of problems which were solved in the past. So similar projects which were solved in the past. OPA, organizational process assets, but then from the point of view. And we look at whether we have similar kind of business problems solved. We look at the data that people use to solve it. Is that data available with the client already or not? If the data is not available, how do we get the data? How costly is it? And how much time would it take? Based on this, we go get the approval from the client. If they approve, we proceed further. Or if we feel that that specific client has a lot of other projects in pipeline, we do it on our own. So yeah, this is my perspective on how a project has to be accomplished. And certainly without domain knowledge, no data, no technology can help.
Yeah. One small clarification. Is this data? I mean, I'm not talking about data, not about domain. As far as the technology is concerned, is it saturated or is it still evolving? Or
it is evolving, Sanjay. If you were to look at hype, there is something called as hype curve on. It will show you that when it comes to artificial intelligence and data science, etc., hype curve means it will go like that, and then it will come and become a plateau. It is somewhere here at this point of time. So for it to get saturated, there is still some time to go. So it's still growing in terms of automation and all that.
So it may take another 5 to 10 years.
Yes, absolutely.
For
yes,
growth.
minimum 5 years.
Minimum 5 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, over to you, Mr. Gopi. Seems like there are no questions.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Nice presentation, actually. Thank you very much. And in this forum, there are a lot of experienced engineering team available, engineering people with more than 20 years, 30 years experience. Now, how they can able to contribute in such a project where they can identify the opportunities, how they can able to identify the opportunities. Suppose I am basically an electrical engineering and almost having around 30 years of experience. Now I know the process, I know how to give service, how the electrical engineering, manufacturing, all the experience, how I can able to use in the next generation of technology like this, artificial intelligence or business analytics, and how we can able to identify the opportunities.
Sure. So let me explain that. So usually what we do is we ask the client to look at the entire industry as such. And we ask them to look into the location. For example, if you're doing a project for a client in Chennai, so that location knowledge is also important from PESTEL perspective. Political, economical, social, and technological perspective. Look at all that. And when it comes to industry, we ask them to look at a simple, initiative or a simple framework, which is called as Porter's 5-force model. Okay, in this Porter's 5-force model, I'm talking from business point of view, from the decision maker's point of view. Right? If someone has 20 years experience, I'm sensing they would be in a senior position. Right? So for them, they can look at the entire industry and look at who are the various competitors. How easy is for someone to enter into their industry? Who are their various customers? What is their bargaining power? Can the customers just start negotiating on the price and ask you for a lower price of specific product or service? Who are the various suppliers who are supplying you the raw material, if they are doing any? And what is the bargaining power of those suppliers? So are these suppliers becoming powerful in their own? Or if you take example of Coca-Cola or Pepsi, etc., beverages industry produces, do you know, their profits are approximately 78%, highest across all the industries. Okay, I'm taking this example just to push an idea here. Here, the suppliers would be bottle manufacturers, bottles. Right? Bottles in the sense cans, everything. But then Coca-Cola in parallel also has vertical integration. That means they also produce certain bottles, certain cans, etc. Right? If this supplier comes and says, "Hey, I want better margins. I want you to pay me more," Coca-Cola will say, "Okay, thank you so much. I'll take care of myself because I have a manufacturing plan. I have money also. I'll take care of that. You please go." So the bargaining power is very less. For customers, you have only Pepsi and Coke. Who else do you have? So what bargaining power do you have? Nothing. If you have thousands of players, you can bargain. So bargaining power. Threat of new entrants. If a new entrant wants to enter, Coca-Cola or Pepsi has Coca-Cola or Pepsi has, they spend approximately $8 billion on their advertising. $8 billion, right? Every month they spend that. So who has $8 billion to spend? Tata Motors for 1 year, if they want to spend money equivalent to Coke on advertising, they have to probably spin off half of their Tata Motors. So threat of entrance is high. And here, threat of replacements, some products which can be replaced, is also very low for this industry. In that way, for your industry, you analyze all these aspects, and these aspects will give you a lot of interesting insights. For example, suppliers are able to bargain more. That means you have to do something on this front, probably automate certain things, do certain things in-house, or implement some kind of analytic solutions, right? Or if customers are bargaining more, if they have that bargaining power, that means your product is not having any good feature, good quality, or there are a lot of competitors. What additional analytics can you do to ensure that you reduce the manufacturing cost? Maybe that cost can be passed on to the products that you sell. You can sell products for lower price. Threat of entrance. If people are easily able to enter, that means you don't have the differentiating power available, right? You're not able to differentiate. How can you differentiate? If you can manufacture your products in lower time with less price, then that additional price that you're saving, you give as discounts to the customers so that the other people get the fear to enter into your space. Same is the case with threat of substitutes. So, I mean, you can do further research, Mr. Raja, on industry and Porter's 5 force model, which will give you additional information on how to identify the business problems. Yeah, hope I answered your question. And another thing which leaders usually uses their KPIs, key performance.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello.
If any key performance indicators are down, then you can actually make use of that. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Gopi. Sorry, I think you were about to speak.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, Arul, Mr.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Arul.
Hi. Yeah. So the very first example that you said, right, the transport example,
Yeah.
the truck, and then you monitor the truck, and then you pass the data to the cloud, right?
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Arul.
So in this, that telematics control unit, you said they came to you for a solution, right?
Right.
So this telematic control unit, they provide, or did you provide, or how did it work?
We provided. We have our embedded programming engineers and we have our IoT experts. So they have actually done embedded programming on our IoT device, and that device we installed, we connected it to OBD, onboard diagnostics.
So for different industries, you have such expertise, right? So hardware as well as
For
software.
machines in manufacturing units, we have done it for automotive. We have done it for a wind turbine manufacturing company in US. These three projects we have done.
So what is the technology behind this? Machine learning, you said machine learning, right? So the Tableau is the front end or for reporting?
Tableau is only for reporting purpose. We usually use Python to do our machine learning algorithms.
Oh, okay. So is this 360 digit training arm of this InnoDataTix?
Exactly.
Okay, do you provide
training arm?
Okay, so do you provide online training for kids, students who are in colleges?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of students actually join us. For that,
So without
10+ students also join us.
Okay, so how long is the training, and without domain knowledge, is it okay?
Yeah, without domain knowledge, it's okay because we use all generic examples and we give a lot of knowledge like what I explained here before we explain a specific project or use case.
Okay, so
training starts from anywhere between 1 month to 1 year, depending on what is your requirement. And usually for students, we recommend the 4 months program that we have.
Okay, so my daughter will be off from college for 3 months, so that's why I was just trying to ask. So, okay, so it is inquiry at that 360 digit, right? So
yeah. We have our office in Thuraipakam also. So
okay.
Yeah, you can actually visit and then get more insights.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Bharani sir. This is Babu Gopinath from Hyderabad.
Yeah, hi, Mr. Babu.
Sir, with respect to pharma industry, anything data analysis, any software or trainings and coachings from your side is there? We are willing to join.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Pharma industry.
Yeah, absolutely. So next month, we are calling it as Pharma Analytics Month. Every month we have one industry month. So next month is Pharma Analytics Month. And we are launching pharmaceutical analytics. Until now, we had life sciences healthcare analytics, in which hospital analytics and various other things were included. Now, specifically, pharma analytics is what we are launching, pan-India, and we will notify you via Mr. Gopi.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, no further questions, so we let you go, Babu. Bharani Kumar, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gopi, and thank you so much, Annamalai Network, Alumni Business Network, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all so much. Bye.